Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Physics by Simran. Today, welcome in my series 2. Series 2, I am going to solve question number 5th. And question is basically of probability. So it's a very easy question. Just remember your plus 2 levels, you will solve it very easily. So now the question is what? The box contains 5 white balls. How many white balls? 5. And 4 black balls. How many? Okay, 4 black balls. 2 balls are picked randomly. So, how many balls? 2 balls are picked randomly. That is the main thing that you need. Now, the next important thing, what you have to calculate, probability of these 2 balls are, probability that balls are of 2 different colors. Before going to write formula, just remember your commutation formula. NCR is equal to n factorial into n minus r factorial into r factorial. Okay, 2 balls are of different. How many balls? 5 plus 4, 9. Divided by total. And see, 2 balls are taken randomly. Now, 5C1. Why 1? Because 1 is, we have seen, in question that is, we have to find balls of different colors. So, 4C1. So after solving 5 factorial into 5 minus 1 factorial into 1 factorial into 4 factorial into 4 minus 1 factorial into 1 factorial divided by 9 factorial into 9 minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. After solving this, we will get the answer 5 by 9. I know you can solve it. So D option is correct. Now the next question will be, so students, the next question number 6 will be, a positively charged particle is placed at origin. हमने एक particle है origin पे placed with initial velocity as 0. In the presence of constant electric field and constant magnetic field along z-axis and x-axis respectively, at large times the overall motion of the particle is drift along. First, basically we have to calculate where particle will move after a large time. So there is a basic knowledge that electric field, and so now we have to make a graph. Electromagnetic field is transfer nature, that is electric field, and there is magnetic field. Electric field is move along positive z-axis. Positive z-axis, and magnetic field is moved along positive x-axis. So, in which direction the total distance can be calculated? So, this is your y-axis. Now, firstly the particle will move, feel electric field. So, initially जो particle होगा वो electric field experience करेगा. जब वो electric field experience करेगा, because जो क्वेश्चन में गिवन है कि पहले जो पार्टिकल की वेलोसिटी 0 है, 0 पार्टिकल की वेलोसिटी होने की वजह से वो पार्टिकल रेस्ट पे पड़ा है. रेस्ट पे हमें कौन सी फील्ड एक्सपीरियंस होगी? इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड. सो फर्स्टली पार्टिकल इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एक्सपीरियंस करेगा. आफ्टर दैट जब वो वेलोसिटी गेन कर लेगा, देन इट डिफ्लेक्ट टुवर्ड्स मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. सो दैट आफ्टर गेनिंग वेलोसिटी इट विल गेन मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला, F इज इक्वल टू Q V वेक्टर क्रॉस B वेक्टर. ओके, F इज इक्वल टू V वेक्टर क्रॉस B वेक्टर. सो जो ये पार्टिकल है हमारे पास, magnetic field is along x-axis and electric field is along z-axis. So just remembering this formula, the particle will deflect along y-axis and it will be positive y-axis. So option A is correct. So that is your answer. Firstly, the particle will gain electric field. Just remember z into x. X, y, z. Z into x. What will we get next? Y-axis. And it will be in a cyclic motion. So, in cyclic motion, therefore, it will be y-axis. If the part z, firstly, if electric field is in x-axis and magnetic field will be in y-axis, z-axis, then what will happen? Then the arrow will different. So, then it means that the particle will move along minus y-axis. That is the basic difference between cyclic motions. So students, the next question is question number 7 of CSR UGC NET December 2019. क्वेश्चन पेपर, द वैल्यू A and B फॉर विच द फोर्स इज कंजर्वेटिव, कि A और B की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट करनी है कि हमारे पास जो फोर्स क्या हो, कंजर्वेटिव हो. सबसे पहले just go back to your lower class, the BSc part 1, you will came to know that for conservative forces, first chapter of BSc book, del cross F vector equal to 0. So here force is given. What is meaning of del? I cap, j cap, k cap, curl by curl x, curl by curl y, curl by curl z. What is value of I cap? AXY plus Z cube x square BX Z square is equal to 0. Just solving this, by solving this we will get the value of del cross A and B. What we get? I cap curl by curl y BX Z square minus curl by curl Z x square minus j cap curl by curl x bx z square minus curl by curl z axy plus z cube plus k cap curl by curl x x square minus curl by curl y axy plus z cube equal to 0. The whole term will be equal to 0. मतलब कर्ल बाय कर्ल, कर्ल का मीन है कि बेसिकली हमें स्पेसिफिक उसी कांस्टेंट के विद रिस्पेक्ट टू डेरिवेटिव करना है. Here y is not here, so answer is 0 minus 0 I cap minus j cap. Here what we get? bz square minus axy 0 2 3 z square. Okay, the next one is k cap 2x minus ax equal to 0. Now by solving this equation, what we get? Now we can write this 0 as 0 I cap plus 0 j cap plus 0 k cap. Now comparing the terms of I cap, j cap and k cap, we will get the value of b is equal to 3 and a is equal to 2. So option number A is correct. Now the next question number 8 will be, student, just while doing all this question, I just think that this will be the first question paper that made by NTA. So जो उन्होंने question paper first बनाया वो very easy level of questions they are putting in that question paper. Now the paper level will be raised up. So please work hard according to the old pattern. Don't go for that pattern. So please, it's my humble request to you. So the next question number 8 will be. So bacha, question number 8 is very easy. Just remember your thermodynamics BSc questions. Okay. So it is basically a question of Carnot heat engine. You have done it in +2 level 2. So the question is, an ideal Carnot engine extracts 100 joule from a heat source. So basically what we given, Q1 is equal to 100 joule. Now, and the next terms 40 joules to a heat sink. That means Q2 is equal to 40 joule. Now the next question, 40 joule to heat sink at 300 Kelvin. That means T2 is given because the temperature is given of sink. The temperature of heat source, basically what we have to find, T1. From ideal Carnot engine, Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2. Just substituting the value of Q1 100 joule, 40. T1 we have to calculate 300. Cross multiplication 100 into 300 divided by 40 is equal to T1. 750 K is equal to T1. The option C is correct. It is very easy question. That is for ideal heat engine. Q1 by Q2 is equal to T1 by T2. Just substitute the values. It is very easy. Now, if a student take, now just see, if students take T1 as 300 Kelvin and T2 is supposed to calculate. So, just Q1 is 100 by 40 is equal to 300 by T2. T2 is 300 into 40 by 100. What we get? 120. See, the it will not even not mention in the statement. So don't go for that. Just see what it is given in the statement. So just remember, you have to फर्स्ट थिंग जो आपने अपने माइंड में रखनी है कि अपनी स्टेटमेंट समझनी है, स्टेटमेंट में पूछा क्या गया है. तभी मैंने आपको क्वेश्चन करके दिया कि अगर स्टूडेंट ये सोचे तो क्या आंसर आएगा. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर कि उन्होंने कहां पे बोला है कि हीट सिंक एट दिस टेम्परेचर. सो दैट मीन्स कि टेम्परेचर इज गिवन फॉर सिंक पार्ट. ओके, सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन विल बी, बच्चा क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 is in the AC Johnson effect, a supercurrent flows across two superconductors separated by a thin insulating wire. So बच्चा two superconductors that are separated by a thin insulating wire layer and kept at an electric potential of delta V. Okay, the angular frequency of resultant supercurrent is given by, just remember the formula, current density through thin insulating layer. Layer is J is equal to J naught sine, J is equal to J naught sine delta naught 2 rho delta V by H cut T. Okay, fine. So now we know that J is equal to J naught sine delta naught minus omega T. Just comparing, what will we get? The omega is angular frequency is equal to 2 rho del V by H cut. So option A is correct. Just remembering the formula of current density for thin insulating layer and just compare with that, we will get the value of angular frequency as option number A. So the question number 10 will be, so now students, I have come with the most difficult question. See the question length. It's a very difficult question. You have to solve it for 2 to 5 pages. For that, just do one thing. What it has been given. See, I am going to solve it in 2 steps. Just see, an AC alternating current that is flows through a circular wire loop of a radius this, lying in the plane xy and centered at origin. The electric field, magnetic field measure, हम किसी पॉइंट पे मेजर कर ली इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, सपोज करो कि वो पॉइंट आर वेक्टर है. जो आर वेक्टर की वैल्यू वो इस पॉइंट में रेंज कर रही है और आर वेक्टर की वैल्यू मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ आर के इक्वल है. व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट? सो the time average electric field is inversely proportional to r square. The time average electric field is directly proportional to omega square. Time average magnetic field is function of angle theta equal to pi by 2. And the last one is magnetic field is along azimuthal direction. So students, don't go for long derivations. Just remember the formula for circular loop. The value of pointing vector s is directly proportional to omega 4, and time average electric field is directly proportional to omega square. Similarly, in time average magnetic field is also proportional to omega square. Just remember these 3 formula and answer B will be correct. And time average electric field is directly proportional to omega square. So students, after analyzing each and every question, I came to point that just remember your conceptual clarity is very important. I know that important tricks are also important, but the main thing in that question and in that examination will be your conceptuality. How much you know about the physics. So just remember, in a very single topic, in a very single question, जो आज इस एग्जाम में पूछा गया है वो क्या है, बहुत easy questions पूछे गए. अभी now next 65 question I will do in next videos. Thank you so much. Oh, and one more thing, like and subscribe my channel Physics by Simran for more videos.